Hi everybody on Facebook. 12 Soul here. I'm out in the desert, California City, or not California City, but Meadview, Arizona. It's real quiet out here. I was reading a book about the history of Coca-Cola, and I want you guys to know something about Coca-Cola. It's sugar water. Did you know that? What was it, 1996, 97, 98? Americans were drinking per capita, was it 59 gallons of sugar water. Now, why would anybody drink sugar water? Oh, wait a minute. They call it Coke, right? Because you're drinking an idea. The idea of an idea, of selling an idea, not the product, starts in the 70s, 80s. People start learning about it, but really it goes way back because Coca-Cola is a very old company. It used to be a wine with cocaine in it. It was a medicine wine. Then, 1904, there was a big lawsuit. But before that, there's a secret formula, and Coca-Cola claimed to have coconuts and coca leaf, so there's lawsuits about it. They won all the lawsuits. It's a complicated book. I don't really want to go into it. I want to get into this main thing about selling an idea, not the product. Okay, so what is the idea here? COVID, Black Lives Matter, stuff like that, right? That's the idea. So then look at all the protesters in the streets. Are they wearing masks? No, they're not. No, they're not. So we should have like a resurgence of the pandemic because it's so bad, right? I doubt that's going to happen. But still, when I go down to the store down here, it's a little store down here, you can only go in the store 2 at a time. How's that doing for small businesses? Probably not so good, huh? So who are the major winners here in this idea? The corporations are. They're the ones that are making the most money. And they love it. Coke didn't care if they put aspartame in their diet. That's what they did. They didn't care if they used PET plastics because, when they went from bottles to plastics, right? Those things have been proven to be harmful. Coca-Cola went in 1984. I think in 3 they had half of their sodas that were made with high fructose corn syrup, and then in 84 they went hog wild because they saved so much money. The profit margins were better for the distributors and for the corporation. There was always been a war between the distributors and the corporation. This is all historic, Sue me if you don't like it because it's all fact. But here's the deal. Today, right now, what are they selling you as an idea? They're not telling you that all the treaties in America have been broken, all the promises, and therefore all the legal claims to the land don't exist. It's the same thing that they're doing in Australia, according to Max Igan. Okay, so that being said, what's next? What else will they sell you? What else will you comply with? It's a total war against humanity right now. It's an idea that we're not good enough. It's an idea that it's our fault that the earth is dying. Well, damn, the earth isn't dying. How do you even know if it's alive, right? It's what? How old is it? What is it, 2-3 billion years old? You think it's going to keep going? I mean, if all the humans were plucked off the planet, like so a bunch of giant birds came and they just plucked us all off of here with ticks, would that change anything? So, as we're fighting ourselves, this, Machiavelli 101, right? Divide and conquer. The corporations are getting rich. And as we're tearing down statues of old war generals in the South because we're mad at them, You better understand, Black America, that the reason you're here is not because of old war generals. The reason that you're here is because of your tribal people on the coast. Read your history. There are black slave owners in the South. There were Indian slaveholders. Every man's heart is every man's heart. A man is a man. It doesn't matter what color his skin is, if it's red or if it's black or yellow or white or whatever. I mean, you guys got to get something, really understand something. You are the divine. You're created with part divinity. If you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or a Zionist, you name it, Buddhist, they all know this. Indian, Hindu, Sikh, Zoroastrian, they all know this because it's all been written. All the religions are taken off of the ancient writings, and guess what? It was real. The gods were amongst us. We're copies, not of the gods, but we are copies of the servants that they made. They gave us some of their divinity. All right, so what does it mean? It means, the tree of knowledge. God didn't want you to eat the tree of knowledge. Well, read the Bible. What is knowing? Knowing is S-E-X, right? Oh, did you know that? It is. It's true. That's what it is. So, the bottom line here is this. It's your world. Do something with it. This is a test. Yes, we're human. Yes, we're going to die. We all have a fate. But your destiny is how you move through eternity. What will you do? You want to fight for a cause that you don't understand? You want to buy a product that's sugar water, that's an idea? You want to research the idea first? It might be a good idea. Before you start, eliminating other divine beings on this world, it might be a good idea. Seriously, a good idea. Because you might have to come back and do it all over again. If you're shooting somebody, you're in the third chakra, I guess, right? You're angry. That's where the third chakra is, the liver. To get to the heart, it's hard for people. But to speak your truth, this is the fifth chakra. You got to speak that. But then you've got to see your truth. You got to raise, and then you've got to be that. Okay, because that's what God is, right? I mean, light, the son of man, the sun, light. It shines on everything equally. It shines on everything without any kind of judgment. Man doesn't really know that his genetics have been sped up, but his brain and his wisdom has not been sped up 500,000 years. They don't get that. They don't know it. That's why they're part animal. So this thing is a test. And these people that talk about 3D, 4D, 5D, okay, whatever, okay. Whatever. It's like a marketing plan, dude. It's like none of that stuff is really important. It's human. If you're raising the frequency in your body, there's not anything outside of you that's going to change. The earth doesn't need that. Trees don't need that. Their frequencies are already raised. Bees already buzz at a frequency, and so do, hummingbirds and cows and whales. So they're controlling these frequencies, and they're controlling us. There's a lot at stake here. We're at total war. Total war means total war. The idea of total war in a scientific dictatorship means everything. You can ask the Native Americans about their buffalo, the Navajo about Chinle, and how they were fireburned. You can ask the Australians. You can ask anybody. You can ask us, as the Anglos, right? We were Christianized at the point of a sword. You didn't do it? I mean, you can ask the Moors in 1492. It's your call. It's your call. That's the bottom line. We all have free will. and we can create a destiny. And we can, well, our destiny is life and death, but your fate, is in your hands, and your fate is based upon your knowledge. Good luck. 12 soul out.